you can't eat the ring. You want to get in you can't get in mommy's lap. Oh, Jesus.
Lay with daddy.
All right, you got to lay down. All right. Okay, good girl. All right. All right, well, here we go. Oh, watch it. Watch it. I plan on using that later.
Oh, my God.
Come on, boys. We got to fight. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Why are you stopping them, refs? Why are you stopping them?
Beat the refs. Beat the refs.
Yeah, what the hell? Why are we stopping Greer from... Why are we stopping this? Let them fight.
Yeah, are we going to do sissy hockey like we've done sissy football now?
Exactly. Why are we stopping
Unnecessary roughness.
Ugh. Damn it.
Bunch of pussies.
Oh. Well, that's the intro. Yep, that's the intro right there.
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
All right, Panther fans. So we got the Flames tonight. Everybody's back. Huberdeau's back. Weegar's back. Lomberger's back. And if you watched the stream, Baby got back. So what are we going to see today on the ice? Just give me 2 points. You can't let these guys come back in here and do the whole thing being at home. Now, somebody had asked me if I thought Lomberg was going to fight Greer. And I thought about it for a couple of seconds, but maybe who would the fans root for? Like, would we really be rooting for Greer to beat Lomberg's ass, or would we be rooting for somewhat of a tie so Lamborghini can take off the helmet and give us the flow one last time, at least before they trade everybody back to the Panthers? That's a joke. So, Leafs won yesterday. Panthers back in second place. It's going to be hopscotch between Leafs, Panthers, and Lightning the rest of the way. I don't know, man. Don't ask me. You know what I mean? Last year, we were on Boston's tail the whole end of the year and then just won the division right there at the end. If you ask me what would I want? I don't know. How interested are we playing the Wings in the first round? Because I think the Wings are going to get that spot. Wings or the Jackets. So, I don't know, maybe win the division. Let the Leafs and Lightning beat the crap out of each other in the first round. That can't be a bad thing. That definitely can't be a bad thing. I'm going to assume Bubba's in net today, but you never know. We play Monday again, and sometimes he likes to give Spencer the afternoon game, so we'll see about that. What I want to see is the continuation of the Samoskevich scoring, the Rodriguez playing the role of Kachickenchuk, and the good play that we saw from the bottom of the defense. Of course, they got goals last game. Maurice wasn't too happy with the game. He must have been crabby. He must have had a bad sandwich. I was under the impression that nobody bitched more than I am. Nobody bitches more than me, right? I mean, we can all agree that if there's one thing, even those of you who hate me, nobody bitches more than me. So the fact that I wasn't disappointed in the game and Maurice was, it seems kind of contrived. It seems fake. I wonder what his angle is. All right, let's get to All right, so no score after one, and wouldn't you know it, of all the things to have going in the first period, we got something brewing between Kadri and Verhaeghe. Very interestingly, we just killed off a penalty after there was a scrum because I thought Ekblad got hit up high, but I guess he was the one that laid the high hit. I don't really know how it all ended up, where Verhaeghe got the extra 2 minutes because Kadri came up to Verhaeghe and shoved him, and the ref lifted his arm then, and somehow they gave Verhaeghe the extra 2 minutes. I have no idea, but it's no score. Ralph's shooting them like 16-7 or something like that. We look okay, they've got this goalie in Vladar, I think his name is. That might be his name. He's one of those guys that we've never heard of that's probably going to goalie us. That's how it's looking. We look engaged. Calgary definitely wants points. You can tell Calgary wants this game. They're right there on the edge of their playoff spot. So it's not going to be, I know some people were hoping this was going to be a lay down early Saturday afternoon slumber party. It ain't looking like that. We might eventually see a fight, Lomberg versus Greer, to settle. How about Greer versus Kadri? Would that work out in his favor? Not so sure. Let's move on in a second. All right, so it's 2-0 Panthers after 2. That was the longest second period I can remember in a long time. It's 2-0. So I'm not going to complain a whole lot, but I don't know what. Does anybody know what goaltender interference is anymore? I mean, what Verhaeghe's just like shoved into Vladar, who the dude is just playing absolutely out of his mind today, right? I mean, I don't think Bob has even had to face. I don't think Calgary's had 10 shots yet. And so Bob's just like down there, it's a good game, huh? You know, I mean, he's not even involved. Vladar is down there doing his Patrick Waugh impression, so I give him credit for being flat on his back and catching the puck, even though it was behind the net or behind the line. But how? On what planet? I mean, Verhaeghe gets shoved into him. The defenseman like locks him up so he can't get out of the way. He gets out of the way as soon as he possibly can. Vladar had time. He could have gotten back up. He still makes the save. Goaltender interference. Goaltender interference. Just insane. That's 4. That's 4 games in a row. Now, that said, the Gadjevich goal, that was another goal that was reviewed. Now, what they said with that one was that because Vladar was in the act of playing the puck, whatever that means, that the fact that Gadjevich's stick went into his glove was legal. So, don't ask me. I just work here. It's 2-0. The sooner we get out of this game, the better. Because Calgary's playing hard. This kid Vladar is like, his numbers aren't great, but we do that around here, right? We take the mediocre ones and we look them. Next thing you know, that's going to be our backup goaltender next year, right? If we have to move on from Spencer Knight or something, he'll be the next guy that we get in as the backup that nobody's heard about. All right, finish this game up, please. 1, 2, 3, and 2 points. And Bubba get a nice pet. He get a hair massage. Should we cut Bubba's hair? How about a toupee? How about that, Bubba? Bubba with another shutout. Not that he had to work. You didn't really have to work too hard for it. You didn't have to work. Don't tell him that. You did it. You did great. The other dude played out of his mind. That's the inequity of sports. Blavard, whatever the hell kids. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've forgotten the kid's name. It was Blavard or some pain in the ass. We'll just call him pain in the ass. I think I got it right earlier, but I've forgotten by this point. He played his ass off tonight. Like, he earned 2 points. Bob just kind of stood back there and made pancakes and waffles. I don't know what Bob was doing all game, but he didn't allow any goals, so there's that. So, what we see on the ice. All right, so let's see. The Barkov line looked pretty good. They look pretty much back in normal. I cut my finger on my ring, clapping my hands. So, Barkov continues to not shoot on the power play. Whatever, we keep winning, right? But God, he is so frustrating on the power play. It's like, if everybody got out of the way, and the goalie emptied the net, and there was nobody there, he would still draw pass. He would still draw past the Ekblad at the point. I'm convinced. The second line, I'm going to say this again. I'm not saying Bennett, Rodriguez, Samoskevich is better than Tkachuk. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying. But I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying. Not bad, right? Samoskevich with another goal. That line is just blasting on fire. Mackie Samoskevich, if we win another cup this year, you're going to put Samoskevich on the list of players that help make it happen. Because his energy that he brings to to that line is exactly what we needed infused to the top six, taking into consideration all the hockey that these guys have played. Third line looks good. I still wish they would have let Sordiff up and let him get some ice time. Although Gadjevich is playing well on the fourth line, Gadjevich, by my theory, Sordiff would be with Lundell and Luostarinen on the third, Bohlquist would be on the fourth, and Gadjevich would be off the ice. Gadjevich played well tonight, so I'm not complaining about that. He got a goal. Obviously, it's just one of those good problems to have where I think we'd all like kind of see Sordiff get some playing time and see what could happen, but that ain't happening until next year unless somebody else gets hurt. Defense look good. Nate Schmidt and Balinskis. Now, I know there's going to be at least three of you that's going to say, Jaws, don't be stupid, blah, 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 blah. I'm not talking about what I would do. I'm talking about what I think could happen. Schmidt and Balinskis are certainly attempting to convince the Panthers not to replace them with defensive trades. They are certainly out there trying to convince Bill Zito that neither one of them need to be replaced. So much so that I think we'll probably only see one new guy come in. I would assume we're going to get a guy to... I don't know. I keep thinking you're going to get somebody to play with Mikkola, but Kulikov is just like invisible out there, which is good. Because if you don't mention the defenseman's name, that means nothing's happening when he's on the ice. We're fine by that. So honestly, I know we probably are going to get a guy, but in terms of some of the bigger names out there and giving them up assets and all of that, I just don't know that I'm interested. I really don't. We've got a decent pair down there with Schmidt, Balinskis. I know we're going to move somebody, get somebody in, and one of those guys will probably be off the ice. But I don't know which one's going to go off the ice. If you had to ask me what Maurice was going to do, I probably think he's going to take Balinskis off the ice. I don't know if that's what I would do, but Schmidt, with the experience and his veteran presence, running the second power play. So if we're doing anything, I think it would be to move Balinskis off and move somebody else in, just to have some different depth. But they are certainly out there playing as though they are trying to convince Bill Zito not to do exactly that. What else do we see? Forward line played pretty well tonight. Nosek is still kind of just out there. Greer and Gadjevich definitely have been noticeable. Nosek is just kind of there. He's just there, but he's not getting beat for goals. And his face-off percentages are halfway decent, so I guess he's just there. But that's another spot this week, obviously being the last week before the trade deadline. My assumption is we're going to get a bottom six player and a bottom four defenseman. Simply by the numbers in terms of going into the playoffs with enough roster guys to have depth, we would need to do that. Unless you're going to bring up like Sordiff to be your forward depth and Kierstead? Who are you going to bring up on defense, right? There's not a lot down there that you're really going to bring up. Bornfoot? You're going to bring up that kid to play as your defensive depth in the playoffs? I don't think so. So I'm not necessarily saying there's anybody in the top 18, the 12, and the 6 that need to get kicked off immediately, but just by numbers-wise, we don't have much behind them, so we're going to have to bring in a couple of guys, at least for the playoff run. I would assume that's what's going to happen, which is kind of why I kind of want to see Sordiff get some ice time to see if he would be a viable guy off the bench in the playoffs. But that ain't happening. That ain't the way we're working it. So, and it's possible that they sent him back down. I know some of you might not want to hear this, but Vincent made a good point on the stream a couple days ago. It's possible we sent him back down because you don't want him up, possibly getting hurt at the NHL level if we're considering moving him in a trade. So there's that. Other than that, Calgary comes in and gets diddly squat. Huberdeau was completely invisible. Uyghur had a couple of shots, not much doing. Lomberg didn't seem to get too involved with anybody. I didn't hear there really wasn't a whole lot going on for Calgary. Our structure was really, really on point tonight. Everybody was doing their job. The forwards were back checking. Everybody was back and forth checking. Maurice was pissed that we gave up 3 goals to Edmonton. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? I want you all to just step into your time machine and go back to when we had like Bugner, Go back to when we had Bugner as coach. Can you imagine Bugner? We just beat Edmonton 4-3. Edmonton lost the Stanley Cup the year before. It wasn't us that beat them. But just imagine we just beat the team that lost the Stanley Cup the year before 4-3 at home. Bugner would have been smoking cigars and having a party, and we would all been giving praise about how this shows the Panthers we're making it. We're gonna be there. We can match up with these teams. Now we do that, and Maurice was so pissed off that we pitched a shutout the next game out. So I guess Maurice kind of knew what he was doing when he was bitching about the fact that we allowed 4 goals, or allowed 3 goals, scored 4 goals. It's way too many goals for Maurice. In fact, he was happy, I think, that the 1 goal got called back, so we didn't end up with 4. But we won the cup with the dude. So I can call him all the names I want, stubborn old mule, but he's a mule with a cup, and now he's never going to change, right? That's for damn sure. Now he has proof of concept. So there's that. All right. That's going to do it. I will be live tomorrow at noon. Thank you all for coming out to the stream. Donna had a good, fun time playing around with all you people. It was good. It was good. Kyle was at his mom's tonight. He'll be back tomorrow, and then we'll be right back at it. Monday we play. I don't know who we play. I forget who we play. I know who we play, but I don't remember who it was. Is that Lightning? Is that Tampa? Do we play Lightning? That's great. They won like 40 games in a row. They're getting ready for a run. As long as we don't, when I say sometimes that I don't want to play Tampa in the first round, and people say that I'm afraid. It's not that I'm afraid of Tampa. I want to win the cup, okay? And last year you were going to say you got to beat the best to be the best. Fine, we're the best. We see that, okay? We are the best, so we don't have to beat anybody else that is the best to be the best because we are the best. So if Pittsburgh and Philadelphia just by accident get the last 2 wild card spots, and those would be the 2 teams that we'd play in the playoffs in round 1 and round 2, I know it can't happen. But the point is that if we could somehow avoid Tampa and let Toronto beat Tampa or beat up on Tampa, I'm not going to cry about it if we have to play somebody who's maybe not as good as Tampa. I want to win the cup again, this time while I don't have a dog that's dying, so I can have a clean experience of it all. So excuse me if I'd like them to have the easiest possible route to winning said second cup. I ain't worried about who we're going to beat. I just want to win games, win another cup. So it ain't that I'm afraid of Tampa. It's just that if we just so happen to play Detroit or Columbus instead of Tampa, I ain't going to cry about it. That's all I got to say about that. 2 points. I'll see you at noon.